ওর কাছে
ओके मेरा फ़ोन तुम्हारे पास है ना?
হুম হুম ধরে নে যে যার ফোন
अच्छा ना এইটাকে অন করে নেবে হ্যাঁ তারপরে ইউ পুট ইট অফ
ওকে
और थोड़ा इसके पास आ जाओ तो
संगच्छद्धं संवदाधं संवो मना
হবে যাতে
হ্যাঁ মানে এরম এরম করে রাখলে দেখো
হ্যাঁ
ইজ ইট ফাইন নমস্তে অ্যান্ড আ ভেরি ওয়ার্ম ওয়েলকাম ঠিক আছে
হ্যাঁ এটাকে একটু উঠিয়ে অ্যাডজাস্ট করে
হ্যাঁ কারণ হাতের মাইক বললে মানে বাজে লাগবে
হ্যাঁ আদারওয়াইজ কলার মাইক
হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ এটা ঠিকই আছে আমার মনে হয়
ঠিক আছে
নিয়ে নে। এটা
everybody is requested to kindly settle down. We are going to start the program within a few minutes.
একটু সেটেল করে যান, ঠিক আছে? মানে ভীষণ স্টুডেন্টস মুভমেন্ট হচ্ছে।
Everyone is requested to kindly settle down. We are going to start the program in a few minutes.
তোমরা বেরিয়ে এসো, তাহলে এরা বুঝতে পারবে।
We request everyone to please settle down. We are starting the program now with all your blessings.
Namaste and a very warm welcome to everyone present here today. Today we gather to celebrate a day dedicated to the strength, resilience and achievements of women across the world, International Women's Day.
Indeed, this day is not just about celebration, but also about reflection and recognition of the contributions of women in shaping our society. To begin this auspicious occasion, let us invoke the blessings of the divine with a Sanskrit sloka. Yatra naryasu pujyante ramante tatra devata. Yatraitastu na pujyante sarvas tatra phala kriya.
Which means where women are honored, divinity blossoms there. Where they are dishonored, all actions remain unfruitful.
May this sloka remind us all of the importance of respect, equality, and empowerment for women in every sphere of life. We are honored to have amongst us esteemed dignitaries and special guests who have made remarkable contributions in their respective fields. We extend our heartfelt welcome to all of our guests and express our gratitude for their presence today.
Now, we would like to invite the chairperson of the International Women's Day Committee, Professor Amita Pathak Mohanty, to grace the dais, whose enthusiasm and guidance had helped to plan all of today's events. We also request the students to present her with a sapling.
So we welcomed her with a sapling. Now, we would like to invite our esteemed Dean of Student Affairs, Professor Bhargav Maitra, to take his place on the dais. We request the student to welcome him with a sapling.
This program would not have been possible without the constant encouragement and guidance of our beloved Deputy Director, Madam Professor Rintu Banerjee. We request you, Madam, to kindly grace the stage. We also request the students to present Madam with a sapling.
We now request our guest of honor, respected Shukla Mistri Madam from Indian Oil Corporation Limited and Momita Datta Madam from Indian Space Research Organization to kindly grace the dais. We request the student volunteers to kindly welcome them with the saplings.
So let us begin today's celebrations by lighting the ceremonial lamp symbolizing wisdom, knowledge, and empowerment. We request our esteemed guests to kindly come forward for the lamp lighting ceremony. Accompanying the lamp lighting ceremony, our students will also be presenting an invocation song in the form of a Vedic mantra. We also request the members of the steering committee to please come, and Koel Madam, Korobi Madam, Shankhamitra Madam, Deepa Madam, Gargi Madam, Hoimanti Madam, to
Shampa Madam also kindly join in lighting
kindly join in lighting the lamp.
जानताम्.
Thank you. Thank you everyone for such a nice song and the diya lighting to set the mood for the occasion. Light indeed removes darkness, just as awareness and empowerment remove ignorance and inequality. Now, I request Chairperson of International Women's Day, Professor Amita Pathak Mohanty, for her words of wisdom.
Dear dignitaries on the dais, our beloved Deputy Director, Professor Rintu Banerjee, our Dean of Students Affairs, Professor Bhargav Maitra, our esteemed guest of honors, Madam Shukla Mistri and Madam Mohmita Dotto, colleagues, friends, and our dear friends. A very warm welcome to you to this gathering. Today we gather to celebrate the International Women's Day with the theme Acceleration Action for Gender Equality. I'm sure the theme resonates deeply with many in the audience, and I believe it's a call to action for all of us. Despite the progress we have made as a society, women and girls continue to face numerous challenges, from gender-biased violence to unequal access to education, healthcare, and economic opportunities. Like, we are living in a world where 1 in 3 women face violence or abuse. Girls are around 2.5 times more likely to drop out from school compared to boys. Closer home, the statistics are not very different either. Out of 15,000 odd students in the campus, only 22% are girls. Out of 750 faculty members, we have only 15.6% as ladies, and out of 900 plus non-faculty staff, there are only 13 women, 13% of women. So this statistics is different from what it used to be when I was a student. There is an improvement, but such data are only a reminder that women still have a long way to go. But we are not here to dwell on statistics, because this isn't just about women. It's about equality, justice, and human rights for everyone. Today, the younger generation is standing up for change. Diversity, inclusivity, and empathy are becoming a norm. Let us work together to create a more just and equal society. Let's listen to each other, stand up against injustice, and celebrate our differences. Let's accelerate action and make our mark on the world. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Professor, for your kind words of wisdom.
Now we kindly request our Dean of Student Affairs, Sir, Professor Bhargav Maitra, to share some words of inspiration.
Good morning to all of you, respected Rintu Manager ma'am, our respected director, acting director and deputy director, Professor Amita Pathak Mohanty ma'am, our two distinguished guests, the experts, Shukla ma'am and Mohmita ma'am, my esteemed faculty colleagues, staff members, and my dear students. It's a great honor and privilege for me to be a part of this inaugural function, and I feel indeed very happy. Now, all of you know that I am involved in the students' activity as the Dean of the Institute. Now, over years, it is our experience that more than academics, students have non-academic issues and problems. They really need mentorship, they really need support to live a healthy life. And the physical and mental well-being of the students has emerged as the highest or the biggest challenge to us. We have grown in number. We have more than 17,000 students now in this residential campus. And I am extremely happy to note that over years the number of female students has increased. And as with the increasing number, we have now more hostels allocated for students, more wardens, assistant wardens from our esteemed female colleagues who are supporting in the management. And looking at the growing number of students and their requirements, we also have IIT Kharagpur probably is the only institution who have introduced an associate dean, a female associate dean is specifically to look after the problems and issues of the female student. Koel, can you just stand up and let us appreciate. She has been a big support to all of us. And in the Dean SA office, I always say that Dean SA office is for the students' affairs. So any students wants to meet Dean SA or somebody associate Dean SA, we always welcome. We never say why we should meet or we should meet only the student representatives or so. No. All 17,000 students, anybody has got an issue, anything you want to meet, you want to discuss, you are always welcome. That has been our contact. Yes, when there are 17,000 students, the discipline, the rules, violations, these are part of the life. It will be there. So sometimes we have to be little tough, punish students, but that's not the major focus. There is always, I can assure you, there is always a human angle, which is, human touch to the students, when we are handling their issues. So this is also an opportunity for me not only acknowledge the contribution of the Associate Dean SA, Professor Koel Chowdhury, but also a great opportunity for me to recognize and acknowledge the contributions of all the all the wardens and assistant wardens of so many number, halls of residence, where the girls are staying. So I would say that please join me to give a big appreciation to them, because without them we cannot really run. The wardens and assistant wardens are the first point of contact for the students. And unless we really, get their help, and we have so many girls hostel now, even some of the temporary thing like the guest house is also converted to girls hostel, and we are lucky that we are getting support from all our esteemed female colleagues across various departments who are supporting us. And the students, we have GSEC welfares. Even in Gymkhana, we made sure that there is one female and one male position, right? So that is again very interesting because the representation is there from the both sides. So as I said, that ma'am has said, it's a long way to go. We are all working together on this very broad issue of gender equality. This is a societal need. It's a bigger societal need, bigger societal problems. So these are all, every day is a struggle and to reach closer to our goal. Thank you so much. Thank you all of us.
Thank you very much, sir, for your very inspiring words.
We now request our Honorable Deputy Director, Madam Professor Rintu Banerjee, to enrich us with a few words of encouragement.
Good morning, everyone. Distinguished guests for today's event, Dr. Shukla Mistri, the first women director of Chemical Petroleum Corporation Limited, Dr. Momita Datta, head Hydrospectral Optics Division, ISRO, Professor Amita Pathak Mohanty, Chairperson of today's event, Professor Bhargav Maitro, Dean Student Affairs, the faculty and staff members of this institute, my beloved students, ladies and gentlemen. Although after 77 years of independence, today, not only in India, but all over the world, people are celebrating the International Women's Day. The women from the developed as well as developing countries are still fighting for their gender equality and their right and safety. India, being the transition phase of developing and developed countries, I would like to see today's day in a different perspective. This year, the global theme of the International Women's Day is Accelerating Action for Gender Equality. It is a theme that underscores the urgent need to move beyond the awareness and into concrete actions. It is both the honor and privilege to address you all today on the very special occasion of International Women's Day. I'm pleased to see so many faces, students, faculty, staff, and guests gathered here today to celebrate the incredible achievement of the women worldwide and to reflect on the step we must take to accelerate gender equality. When I began my journey at IIT Kharagpur, the landscape of women here was very different. As a student, there were only one girls' hostel, and the gender ratio was significantly skewed. The opportunities for women in the academics and professional world were far fewer. Even when I began my career as a faculty of this institute, I think only 7 lady faculty members were there. It is important to reflect on these numbers because they represent more than just the statistics. They reflect the systemic barrier that existed and to a great extent still exist. While we continue to work towards the gender equality, we must also recognize that the number speaks the volume. The representation of women in STEM field is still far lower than it should have been. We are still fighting for this. When it comes to advocating for gender equality, we need to recognize that we as women must also rise up with strength, determination, and capability. Our numbers are fewer, but our strength, intellect, and passion are boundless. As we look towards a future of innovation and progress, we cannot ignore the crucial role of women in shaping our society's economics, technological advancement. And when we talk about accelerating the gender equality, it is essential to recognize the tremendous contribution of women in the field like science, engineering, technology, and so on, in each and every field. At IIT Kharagpur, we are proud to witness the support, the growing impact of women in these critical areas. For decades, women at IIT Kharagpur have been at the forefront of transformative research, groundbreaking innovation, and exceptional academic achievements. From pioneering research in artificial intelligence and robotics to advancing sustainable technologies, women have been instrumental in shaping the legacy of this institution. IIT Kharagpur has been taken a meaningful step to create an inclusive environment that empowers the women and encourages their active participation in STEM. One such initiative that I'm particularly proud of our recent recognition at the CII Awards on Women in STEM, where we were honored for our commitment to promoting women in science, technology, and engineering field. Another significant step towards promoting the gender equality is the establishment of the gender cell at IIT Kharagpur. This cell was created with the vision to provide a support and inclusive environment for all our students and faculty, ensuring the gender issues and that is to be addressed. At IIT Kharagpur, we recognize that the path to gender equality requires continuous effort. We must continue to empower women by providing equal access to opportunities, support, mentorship, and recognition. We need more women in leadership role, in the boardrooms, in the research laboratory, and in the classrooms. I would like to take a moment to express my gratitude to all the incredible women here at IIT Kharagpur who inspire us and their talent, dedicated, and resilience. You are paving the way for future generation and your contribution do not go unnoticed. We are deeply proud to your achievement and we will continue to support you as you chart new paths of success. While encouraging the women folk at IIT Kharagpur, I, on behalf of the entire women representatives, must mention that our achievements, our journey, our professional career has not been possible with smooth sailing with the cooperation that has been rendered by our male colleagues of this institute, our family members, and those who have helped us directly and indirectly. And my special thanks to all of them. I would like to extend my special thanks to my beloved students, especially the male students who are attending this ceremony. And although I don't have any gender biasness, but today's event is dedicated to the women, and that is the reason why I'm specially mentioning this. For their developed and progressive mindset towards their women peers for the better future. Once again, I congratulate each and every woman of our country, and I wish them every success for their future endeavor. Let us all accelerate our effort to create a world where gender equality is a norm and not the exception. Thank you, and thank you all for this event.
Thank you very much, Madam, for your inspiring words and showing us the way forward.
Now it is time for us to listen to our guest lectures. We would now kindly request our respected dignitaries to take their seat in the audience. We feel that on this occasion it is also worth reciting 2 lines from a remarkable poem by Qazi Nazrul Islam called Nari, which says, "Bishe jakicho mohan srishti chiro kolyankor, ordhek tar koriache nari, ordhek tar nor," which means credit for every good and auspicious creation in the world goes equally to men and women. So let's now proceed to hear our guest lectures.
To enlighten us further, we have with us Shukla Mistri Madam from Indian Oil Corporation Limited, who was also the director on the board of Chennai Petroleum Corporation Limited, as well as Ratnagiri Refinery and Petrochemical Limited. She was the first woman functional director on the Indian Oil Board and spearheaded the business and operation of 9 refineries and mega petrochemical plants of Indian Oil. She played a pivotal role in execution of multiple projects across refinery units with thrust on refinery and petrochemical integration. She also led the green growth agenda towards achieving net zero commitments of refineries with projects on the anvil, such as development of natural gas infrastructure, power requirement of refineries with renewable energy, CCUS projects, setting up green hydrogen plants, and various energy improvement projects, among others. We now request Madam to share her thoughts with us.
Good morning, everyone. I think hall is little silent, so I'm not getting the warmth from all of you. So can we say once again, good morning? Yeah, thank you. Professor Rintu Banerjee, Deputy Director, Professor Bhargav Mitra, Dean Students Affairs, Professor Amita Patak Mahanti, Chairperson of International Women's Day, and Momita Datta, Head of ISRO, Guest of Honor, like me. Distinguished faculties and my dear students, and those who are connected online, I don't know if it is so. Once again, good morning to all of you, and I wish all of you Happy International Women's Day 2025. Madam has already explained what is the theme of this year, but it's my absolute honor to be here with you today, the entire faculties and the students, and the women, that day which recognizes the strength, the intelligence, the potential of women across the globe. I'm happy to say that I was told that 17,000 students are here, and out of which 20% are women, but today I'm seeing that it's like 80% men's over here and women's are very little in numbers. Why I'm happy, just would like to say, is that a woman cannot move without a man and vice versa. So if a man has to grow up, you are the person who can make them forward. And so that's very important. So in this hall, standing over here before you, I can only say, thank you all boys who are going to support your female colleague tomorrow and create a situation of parity, situation of equality for the men and women. You are the future. Today is just not a day, it's a reminder of how far we have come and how much more we can achieve together. As a young woman, in fact, I would not say today is the Women's Day, it's a Men's Day too, because celebrations of women by default goes to the celebrations of men's too. So since all of you are here, I'm not particularly talking about only women, but you are the students who are going into the future. You hold immense power to shape the industries, to lead the business, and drive the change in the society. Thanks to organizer, the IIT Kharagpur, madam and everyone sitting here for inviting me in this wonderful event, and it's really, really matters to invite in the International Women's Day because we started our career in a very different situations, and today's situation is very, very different. I'm also happy to share with you that when I entered into this premise, I have become really nostalgic because I was here in this campus for 6 months at SN Naidu hostel, and I participated in inter-IIT tournament in table tennis, and the tournament on that time was in IIT Delhi. Sorry, I had to leave this organization for my own personal reason, and I had to join to the industry for earn my bread and butter for me and my family. If you take a good look around, you will notice that the two powerful phenomena unfolding the world, and those two phenomena are the journey towards sustainability and the rise of women. And you must, all of you heard about Hillary Clinton. She said, women are the largest untapped reservoir of talents in the world. In the last few decades, I will give you some statistics. In the last few decades, representation of the women has increased, especially in the fields of information technology, teaching, banking, management, arts, literature, business entrepreneur, etc. But if you see the areas like manufacturing, areas like oil and gas industries, fertilizer, mining, power industries, women executives are even less than 10%. According to the McKinsey's report with lean organizations, women in the workplace 2021, that's the name of the report, women made representations gain of 5% in the leadership roles for the last 5 years. And this McKinsey report, parity reports, it indicates that if India addresses the inequality issue, it can add $770 billion annual to its GDP, which is about 18% of the current scenarios. Supporting the same, Niti Aayog also reported that India will grow from 9 to 8%, currently 6.5%, if the women workforce is increased from 24% to 50%. And while in India's shares of women in the workforce is steadily increasing, the nation has made a significant growth and progress, and it has been observed that in the board level, the women representation was 6% in 2013, which has increased to 13% in 2017, and it has steadily grown, but slowly. It has now become 18% by 2022. Now, we are a developing country. India is a developing country, and many more countries are already developed. Would you like to hear how many women CEOs are there in those developed countries? The highest CEOs is available in country in Norway, but the CEOs percentage is only 13.4%. So CEOs are limited till now below 13%. And other countries who are significantly doing better are Singapore, Thailand, Sweden, Taiwan, Hong Kong, France, China, Ireland, and the Philippines. Remember, US is not there in the line. And India is trying to make its own progress, but long way to go. I'm glad to see that women of 21st century is a woman with ambition. She is not afraid of exploring varied new areas and the fields, and thanks to the easy access of information and technologies which has come all across, and the world has become in the palm of everyone, and we can see each other from any corners of the globe. I'm also happy to hear that IIT Kharagpur is having 17,000 students, and women contribution is to the tune of 20%. It's a great contribution, so thanks to IIT Kharagpur. Friends, each one of us is a treasure trove, and each one of us are having success stories and moment of failures too as well. And the journey for a young engineer to reaching to the board level is not an easy one. And I most humbly would like to reflect with all of you a few of my experience which I have gathered in last 38 years. I have been told to speak on my life, my industries, and the challenges. So I take my paper out and share some of the anecdotes. I'm sure it will inspire you, because I'm an Indian, worked in Indian industries, worked in Indian society, worked with Indian people, and it would be similar what you are going to face tomorrow. Of course, when I have done my engineering, it is 1985, and it's way above now, it is 2025. I was the first inspection engineer in oil and gas industries, even in the country. I'm talking about 1987. So how many years before? You can calculate. I had undergone 8 transfers, moving from Haldia refinery to Barauni refinery to Delhi to Panipat refinery to Qatar Petroleum at Qatar to South Korea for Qatar work, then Digboy refinery, back again Barauni refinery, and then went back to Delhi. So all of my life, I just moved around the country and moved to 5 refineries, left few of them of my own company. Now, what's the problem I faced? It's not the problem. It's a way we dealt with. And maybe some of them still will continue, but country really has gone ahead much. You are lucky that you are not going to face those. So, when I joined Indian Oil, I was posted at Haldia refinery, which is very close by to Kharagpur refinery. In fact, I left IIT Kharagpur from here to join directly to Haldia refinery. And by virtue of my department discipline, metallurgy, the refineries post them in the inspection department. And the job of the inspection department is inspection of, it's a process, you know, refineries are process industries, so it has got a lot of pressure vessels, lot of column, towers, pipeline structures and all these. And the inspection engineers carry out the inspection of these equipments on a regular basis and particularly during turnaround. Turnaround is really a hectic job because you have to see inside and in and out of the equipment, and you have to assess the health of the equipment and say that yes, this will run for next 5 years without any kind of interruptions. So they are the department who dictates the reliability of the equipment. And in the hydrocarbon industries, a small leak, you know, everything moves. The entire liquid, I mean, we process crude, produce the product like diesel, petrol, coke, ATF, kerosene, and all these about what you hear. And you know, the beauty of the plant is it is one of the second hazardous plant the globe is having after nuclear plant. Why it is so? Because crude is a liquid and it comes in shapes, goes into the tank, from there pumped to the plant, and it get processed. And after processing, then many processing at various process plant, and finally we get the product which goes to the retail outlet, and we put it into the car after that. And then in the entire process, we can't see a drop of crude, or drop of diesel, and drop of petrol. Nothing is visible. It all moves from the piping to the equipment, and equipment to the pump, and then tank, and all those, and it goes to the petrol pump. And incidentally, the person who put the diesel into their car, they can see the diesel only. I can see the diesel. I store the diesel, process the diesel, whatever I do it in the equipment. And all this process, it has got kilometers of piping and pipeline, there are thousands of equipment, and these are, you know, exposed to a temperature of, let's say, 1000 degrees centigrade, pressure of 250 degrees centigrade. At any leakage, it can cause a disaster, it can cause an explosion. That's the kind of industry refineries handle. So, I'm a woman, so obviously I can't go to the site and handle those equipments, you know, because I'm woman. I haven't declared that I can do it, but my management didn't assign me because they felt it that if something goes wrong and she may not be able to do it. And women is very important, you know, a complaint from a woman really makes a lot of difference than a complaint for a man. So the bosses are very careful how to deal with these women who are recruited. Thanks to Indian Oil, that despite having that, women are very difficult to work in inspection department, but they have recruited. So I really give a lot of thanks to them. But they haven't given me the site assignment, they have given me, without asking me, the job at the table, which is failure analysis. So I'm in this country, I'm in this society. So when lots of persuasion, when I was put in, it was on trial basis. Remember, it was on trial basis. It means still there is a doubt as a woman whether I'll be able to do it or not. And trial basis with a counterpart attached with me. And when, you know, I did my work really passionately because it was my challenge to prove myself that I can do it. I can equally do it like a person. So I'm a person, I'm not a man. I'm not a woman, I'm a person in the business. And you know what has happened? In every shutdown, I used to be called. Every turnaround, I used to be called. And there are two equipments. I still know those, name those two, Korovidas may be knowing. It's called 15C01, that is depropanizer, and another equipment which is called debutanizer. These are having diameter of 400 millimeter, this much. And the manhole is 24-inch dia, 24-inch NB. And the height is 55 meter. So you have to climb the monkey ladder, go inside this through that manhole, and inspect the entire equipment, and you have to tell the equipment is okay, you can run the plant. So this particular, there are many more dia, and the height is 65, 75 meter. But the issue is, these two equipment, my mate colleague could not inspect because they are a big structure. They find it difficult to enter into the column and inspect it. So there, that point of time, no women, no man, but it is Shukla Mistri. And this two equipment was dedicated to me in all shutdown. Even my, you were deployed to different locations. I used to be called for the inspection of these two equipments. So I'm trying to, it's not a big deal for me. You know, what's a big deal to do an inspection, what a man can do, women cannot do, it's not that. So there are three things in the backdrop which coming in, which I wanted to give you a message. I don't feel that I have done a great job. Truly, it's my job. I mean, I am a metallurgist, I am an inspection engineer, it's my job. It's not a big deal. It's a big deal for my management who feel or felt that I should be protected. It's a big deal for me to prove in the field is that I'm equally capable enough. That's the difference between men and women in the industry, which is not applicable for a man. I don't believe men and women technically, but still I vouch for this and campaign this that you are so strong, you are having so much potential, you can do everything. Don't keep yourself within a mind frame of women, which that society is having. And it has gone into the DNA of our blood that I am a woman, and that makes us work into a silo. So we need to change our mind frame. It's not the responsibility only for the men, but for also women to create an environment. Once you create an environment that you are equally capable to do this, I think the world is yours. So this is the message I want to give you. And the confidence given during that time by me, the confidence is achieved by my boss, and he doesn't say, where is Shukla, where is this inspection girl, where is she? Nobody says about it because it becomes a part of the job, it's a normal job. And after that, any woman came into the inspection department, she was never told, will you be able to go and inspect the equipment? No, because we have created the environment. And I don't think anyone comes into this department or this kind of area, it was asked whether you will be able to do it. In fact, I have seen that we have become always a problem because we haven't accepted the job in the shaped. Many of us hasn't accepted the job in those areas. It's a problem with me rather than them today. Remember that. So I will come that particular point that why I'm saying this, take a note of that. The second anecdote. So for my who is that? He's getting energy, good. I'm energized by you, thank you very much, little boy. She is there. So the second anecdote is, so as happens, I want to grow, so I told that from inspections I want to go to other departments. So I've been transferred to project department. So while being project department, it involves a lot of touring. And I was saying, I'm doing the job of heat exchanger, but touring is being given someone. So I said, why it is so? And you see the feeling of how much, emotional I have become in every day that I am doing everything, I'm checking the drawing, everything, monitoring with the vendors and all, but somebody else is going. So why should I keep quiet? You know, my area is my area, right? It's my right. Okay, so I told my boss, what are you doing, sir? I'm feeling hard. He said, no, don't worry, you can't go in the train because those days, flight is not easily given. It's not permitted actually. So it was only train, and that too, not first class. I think it is AC first class and AC second class, sort of a thing. So you have a good life these days. Everyone is traveling in the flight, no problem, it's good. But those days are very different, Remember, we are of 1980s, 90s. So boss was, boss is in trouble, so he said, okay, I'm sending someone with you. Some man's with you, a junior has been given to me. We went together, fine. So what I did, I went there and I worked 2 days. He also was with me 2 days. Then I said, are you okay? You have done your job? Because he's from a purchase department, so he has done the job. I said, now you go back. I need some more, job to be done. I need 2 more days here, so you go back. No, madam, I have been told to take care of you. I said, don't worry, I will take care of you, go back. So he went back, This was done. You have to sometimes, apply your diplomacy or handle it diplomatically so that you can create your path. But write it again. Why I'm saying it's not a big deal. It will be coming in your industries every day, every moment. But I'm saying just to inspire you to get to know how it is to be operated by all the women, and it happens. So that boy came, and he came under questions to the bosses. Why you couldn't come without her? Why hasn't you have come without her? So I said, he said, no, she didn't come, I cannot, she's a senior to me, I cannot say. So then I came alone, and everything was okay, and the bosses felt, oh, this lady can handle it. So I created my platform. So there was no problem later on for sending me on tour in my project work. Many more examples, but very simple one, which I faced in my early age, they're engineers of different backgrounds, experience to the Middle East, because the Middle East is not expert in, they have a lot of refineries, there are a lot of crudes, but they don't have the experts to process it. To be nominated, used to get nomination and they used to get to the Middle East. And I have never even asked also that whether you can go, and I also know that Middle East will not accept me. So I never, complain or ask them to send my name. But I thought before I become old, let me get a chance. Let's see how it comes out to be. So one advertisement has come, and then they ask for inspection engineers, quality, they call quality control engineers. So I said, okay. Then I went to boss, why you are not nominating myself? Give my name. He said, no, they are not going to take it. I am not going to send who. I will be responsible for any problem if you have. And more so is that by chance, I give you your name, somebody will lose the opportunity. So I said, you can't do that, sir. You please give my name. If they reject it, fine. Let them reject. You don't reject. So he said, okay. So he has actually nominated. And unfortunately or fortunately, I had an interview call and I got selected. Okay, that was a paper job. That thing hasn't come yet. That's a paper job. So taliya baad mein, aap sun lijiye pehle. So I felt very happy but internally shaken what I'm going to do with these countries where maybe I'll not find any women or any supports. So I went there, I thought, yeah, my company is there. If something goes wrong, I will come back again quickly. Okay, so I have got my place here. So I went there to Qatar. First I was taken to South Korea. I worked there they have called me for 2 months. 2 months has become 4 months. 4 months has become 6 months. And they said, I want you to site, that is at Qatar, Doha, Mesaid is the plant site. So they called me up over there. And they said, you need it there because I will not be able to complete my project if you don't come because you know everything. So I went there alone with 20,000 people I worked, the people from Tunisia, Egypt, Nepal, Thailand, Indonesia, and all those, and worked with them at the site, which is fully, full of sands and all, and really enjoyed the charm of working there without any problem. I'll just tell you just one incident, how uncomfortable I was there, but I was a chaser that I have to work there. What is it? When I used to go to the hotel, they have given me a hotel, from the lift, I used to run to my room, because there are a lot of rooms in series, both the sides in the corridor, this side. There's a feeling of if somebody opens the door and take me in, I'll be, so just to say, so all these things many things were there, but still the courage was there to continue and show the world that you can do it. I think many things are there to share with you, but you all students, I think I'm thanks to all boys students. Students, I would say to all of you is that as long as you are students, you are chasing yourself. It's a game of golf. More you read, better results you make. More you play golf, you perform better. So you are basically competing yourself every day and chasing yourself every day. But the industry is a different ball game. You have line of bosses at the top. You have line of colleagues of different departments around you. And you have line of subordinates below you. So you are basically, you have to cover 360-degree in and out. And chasing them is not an easy job. You have to diligently talk to make your boss satisfied. You have to take your team together to get the job done. And you have to take your colleagues and the other people in the network, because all the people who will be working, because one person cannot do that, it is connected with various disciplines. You have to get them together with a beautiful behavior, attitude, and managerial capabilities. You can call it as a leadership, so that you can get your job done. And if you can get your job done, and that's called competition in the industries. If you can get your job done, the boss is ready to hear you. If you cannot, the boss will throw you out. And remember one thing, once you go into the corporate level or the corporate business or whatever you are not a woman, you are not a man. You have to be a performer. You remember. Why I am saying so, it's a highly competitive. The industries are highly competitive. They don't talk about women and men. You know why I have been taken to Qatar? By the Qatari man. Because he knows that this girl will give the performance and I will be able to get the project done in time. So he is looking for time, not for a woman. He is looking for a time, he is looking for a performer, not for a woman. So in the business, all of you will be a business person, and every day you have to talk to the bottom line of the balance sheet, top line of the balance sheet. It doesn't know anything about it, because it only knows bottom line of the balance sheet and top line of the balance sheet, and it doesn't come by any women and men. It doesn't recognize any gender. Believe me, and that is why it is so tough. So I think I have told you many things of my anecdotes, so I need to conclude it now. I would say some of the things which is my thought process is that there is no blueprint for success. You cannot replicate someone else's journey. What really matters is your willingness and ability to define your own professional aspirations. And once you do that, spend time and invest on that and make your dreams successful. The success path does not recognize any gender. As I have explained, that it doesn't recognize any gender. But for all women, I will say that there is a term called glass ceiling. You must be hearing the glass ceiling, invisible ceiling. People say, when Priyanka Chopra was asked the same question, she said, I don't believe any glass ceiling. But I have experience and hand-on experience in the industries all of my 38 years. Only 3 years I was in a directorship. Other than that, 35 years I was in industries. I was on the field. I worked in my own hand, round-the-clock basis. I was in shift, I was in strike day, I was in everywhere. And I demanded it, I did it, and actually I taken it from there, all these. I know the difficulties. You may have to require, all the women may have to require to prove your mettle by working twice of a man. Sometimes your contemporaries will be very much violent to you if you perform good, because they have a male chauvinistic feeling. And don't get upset. It's a society's problem, it's not your problem. We have created the DNA issue since years and years and years and years and years. So it's nothing wrong in it, but putting together or going together or having together, we have to change this environment. That's more important. So there is a glass ceiling, and I'm sure over the time, this glass ceiling can be broken, and is being broken, and will be broken, and we will get a platform where both of us will be together, working together, and create an environment where no gender comes into the picture. And at the most, what I will say is that be courageous. I mean, this is for the message for the women. Unless you are courageous, you won't be able to take those actions which you actually need. And you will go into a silo, which is the framework created for the women, you won't be able to grow. The world is changing, the business dynamics are changing. Today we have machine learning, we have you know, artificial intelligence, and so many things are going on every day. And if you are not updated and keeping yourself into the silo, you will be slipped back. You will be just slip nowhere. You will not be able to prove yourself, your entity, your existence and all. It's very, very important that you remain updated. So you have to be very, very bold and courageous. The success path does not recognize, as I said, the next is courageous, then you have to create a parity, environment of parity. So the build parity to demand parity. This is, I think I have already explained how it is to be done, and it's not an easy job, it is a very, very difficult one. And I'm sure over the time this has become much more smoother than what it was, and it should be furthermore. And the collaboration is the key. The business is actually a complex area of complexities, where everyone has to work together to get the right product and the value-added products. So you need all departments. You need finance, you need maintenance, you need civil, everyone. And if you are not collaborating, men, women, irrespectively, you won't be able to get your job done. And the output in the business is the main thing, and the output in a shortest possible time. The quality output in a shortest possible time makes the business more successful. So collaboration should be there. And finally, what is my thought process to all of you again? My final thought would be, as you move forward, remember that you are not just the future, you are the present. Your voices matter, your ideas are valuable, and your potential is limitless. So dear girls and boys, dare to dream and dream big, and never let anything dim your light. The world is yours to conquer. Why not you are going to conquer? There will be no second chance in the life. And I wish all of you the very best in your personal and professional lives. So explore the world, enjoy the life, and see the bigger picture. Thank you once again. Thank you very much. Happy International Women's Day.
Thank you very much, madam, for your very, very inspiring words. I think many of us can relate to whatever she has said in our daily lives. And our target is to make this world a little bit better place for those young students who are yet to be in the professional field. So I would now like to request Gayatri and Anuradha to coordinate the question answer session. Thank you very much.
So thank you, Dr. Shukla Mistri, madam, for such an inspiring talk. We have heard about breaking the glass ceiling, but you have actually done that, and not only that, you have chalked out a pathway for all of us here, not only girls, boys as well, to break whichever glass ceiling that is hindering our path. So Dr. Shukla madam is a recipient of several awards throughout her life. For example, she is an honorary doctorate from Shiv Nadar University. She is a Woman Achiever of the Year. She received the Woman Achiever of the Year 2024 at the Chemtech Leadership and Excellence Award from the former Minister of Railway at that time. She also won the Best Director Award in the Public Sector Enterprises in 2024. She has won the Professor N.R. Kamath and Mrs. Rosina Kamath Memorial Lecture Award by Indian Institute of Chemical Engineers in ChemCon 23. Then she has also got the Honorary Fellowship Award 2023 by Center for Excellence in Project Management. The Business Transformation Award 2023 for the innovative use of AI/ML solutions, which is a very relevant topic in the present time. She has been judged the Energy Woman of the Year in the year 2023 by Economic Times, and also is a recipient of the world-renowned Stevie Awards for Woman of the Year in Manufacturing and Industry in 2022. These are just a few of them. She is an excellent role model for all our young students out there. And I and Anuradha would like to first ask the audience if you have any questions for Madam. So you can kindly raise your hands.
Okay. So thank you very much, ma'am. I think it was a very inspiring session, and I'm sure all of you agree with the fact that it was not easy as she described her experience of being in, let's say, the Middle East and how she was able to do it. So ma'am, I'd just like to start by asking you that the glass ceiling does exist, and you've encountered it in your own experience. What were those, a few questions around that. One is that why do you think the glass ceiling is there? What are those psychological factors or those attitudinal factors that are resulting in these glass ceilings? And we have all future leaders here. The young men and women who are sitting here are all future leaders of this country and are going to be taking part in the development of various industries. So what should be their attitude so that they don't allow such an unfair boundary to limit the potential of their own peers, their own colleagues? So.
Right, I mean, this is a very complicated subject, you know, like many people may not be liking, but I'll give you two examples. You know, like Bill Gates. And what is the name of wife of Bill Gates? Wife of Bill Gates, who was also the chairperson of Bill Gates Foundations, Melinda Gates, right. So actually, I was knowing, but I was just trying to validate from you because my memory doesn't work sometimes. You know, one of the reasons for the divorce? Anybody? Can you be a little louder? You are right. You are moving to us. Okay, so I'm not able to clearly hear you. Come in front. Yeah. There's a mic, yeah. I'm happy that the team here is enjoying the program, and that's more important.
Oh,
Yes, I mean. First you say your name, and thank you very much because you have made this program more enjoyable.
My name is Shukla Mistri, and I am a first-year undergraduate student in the Department of Computer Science and Engineering. So what I know that the reason of divorce is Bill Gates had an association with a person who had been previously charged on woman trafficking and child trafficking, and Melinda Gates did not like that. So she decided to part ways from Bill Gates.
Okay, fine. You are right, but there is one of the important, attributes in that is that whenever they used to go to any of the meeting for this Bill Gates Foundations, he used to go into a room and lead the meeting, while she was also a co-chairperson of the same foundation. And all the time she used to feel, why they haven't called me, why they have started without me. Understood? This you have to feel, because this many a times we can't speak all this thing in the public. But I'm now retired, so I can speak. And this is happening every day. And now yesterday, one of the doctors whom I met, she's a lady doctor. You know, she cited one example that in the very first day, in the dissection room of their, practice, medical, where their NRS hospital they're studying, the very first day in the dissection room, the dead body brought in, and all the boys students, they said to the girls, you be there, because if you come first, you may get fainted, we'll support you there, then come first, let us do first, and then you will come. We'll call you after that. This is called glass ceiling. You know, this is called attitude. I mean, consider in our society or in our industries everywhere that they are the first mover. They have to move fast, they have to take the lead. We are not, but we are equally capable enough, and this happens. And many a times in the big gathering, big function, you just cannot create those, those kind of environment, bad, some kind of which is not wouldn't we like, or all kind of these things are there. So this is called glass ceiling, and this is happening every day. And who realizes that glass ceiling? It's only women folks who realizes. Nobody can. Because the person who is doing, he doesn't know what he is doing. But the person who is facing, that's a woman, he knows that her sentiment is being hurt every time, every moment, every seconds. And that is really, that's called glass ceiling. Because he can't see the cells, what he is doing. It is in his mind. It is in his attitude, in his behavior, it's the society. It's the way he has been made. So it is there, and I being in the industry, I don't know, I mean, my heart used to be broken every day, every second. Lakhs of time, thousands of time, I cannot explain you. But still I'm alive, and still through that I become director. And more so that I really try to get, express this thing to the gathering so that it can be reduced, because this is my moral responsibility to these things take out from my society. So I really vouch for this, campaign for this, and go for that. Thank you.
So, Madam, it's great to have such a visionary like yourself who is thinking about how to guide us, guide the society. So what, in your opinion, where should we start to sensitize the boys to these issues? Like, don't say things that are going to be hurtful. And because we all face that every day in our lives, as you said, in different degrees, obviously. So what, in your opinion, could be a way forward to sensitize the boys?
I think one thing I remember, so many things I have said to you, but remember, while we, go through that journey, there are very extraordinary people out there, and they are men. Nobody came to support me. No women has come to support me. Of course, there is no senior women, but believe me, in my difficult times, it's the men who come forward to support me. And that's very important. And I personally believe, and in my life, if I become a director to a big company in our country, it's a man who supported me more than any woman. I could become, because on the course of your journey, you will see there will be so extraordinary person who will really hold your hand and tell, yes, I'm here to support you. You do your work, you perform. So they have to be inbuilt into our system. What is happening is that, except barring few people or a few areas, it's a mindset to our people. That mindset need to be changed, and the more numbers of women, they're educated, education is given, and they're more educated, they come more in numbers. More of the programs are done with the gatherings. I think over the time this will get reduced, that ceiling. So the sensitivity to be increased, people have to be sensitized. And remember, it's not the only main issue, it's not the issue. The women are also not coming forward. Women are also not coming forward. That is also a point. So it is the work, both the genders has to work together. Then only, it is to be sensitized to the women too as well. Then only we will be quickly able to come out of that particular barrier. That's my opinion, and I go by that.
Hello. Thank you very much. Yes, sir. I think if students can take this to heart, then I think we can see a lot of progress.
But I'm surprised that all young women and the men sitting there is no question. So you are all happy.
No, so that's the next. So please, I mean,
you are happy. All of you are happy.
No, I'm saying that while this is Women's Day today, but we have an eminent leader in her own industry. So this is an incredible opportunity for you to ask something of how do you
You can ask me the general engineering questions too also. In the oil industries where I work,
please.
that also can be asked.
There's a question there.
Yeah, please.
This side behind you, yeah.
See, in the business there is no men and women, huh? Business is business. It has to be profitable. I think you are closer. You can only, without mic, you can speak.
So I just ask you one thing, probably as you also mentioned it in your talk. For example, there's a general perception, means when women are leading something, they are in some positions and they are in job, they have a dual pressure, means there's a general pressure of performing and fulfilling the commitments and the work in which they are dealing. That is very normal. That can be felt by a man, women, irrespective of gender. But there's a different pressure on the women because they know that there's a different kind of, there's a section of society who is just readily, they are just totally ready to judge. Look, we have said, you shouldn't have been there. You are not able to perform. So there's another psychological and the mental aspects with which women are doing. Means they have to fulfill their work commitments as well as they have to prove themselves as well to the society. Which aspect is not related to the man because man knows if man is facing a failure, that's okay, fine. Failure is part of our life. It's okay. But with the women, if they are failing, there's a section of society which will say, look, what happened? We have said you are not capable, but still you went. What happened? So how you used to deal with all those things, because on a reality level, in your life, you have faced all these things. You are continuously working and as well as proving yourself. So how are you looking at it? That's it.
No, it's not a question. You are explaining the things. Right?
No, I'm asking you, not explaining that how you used to deal with this thing. When are you facing
How
this?
you read?
How were you dealing with this?
No, okay, I think in the industry when you are concentrated, all of you are concentrating on your job and performance. All of you, and it's a competitive field. You are meaning to that only?
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so I'll give you one example. As I told you that, when I was first put into the site, given the assignment in the site work, so if you have to go to the site with a safety shoe, boiler shoe, helmets and all these things, and I have to inspect the equipment, I have to go to inside the, equipment and all. So very first day, my immediate senior, he told me, you don't look good actually with these dress. He told me, you don't look good. Okay, you are, wherever you wear, fine you wear, but this is not, this doesn't look good. So I felt equally hurt and came to my boss. I was just literally crying there. What I'm going to do, I want to work, but people are saying something. What shall I do? Then he said, you have born in India, you have born in this society, you have two ways to move. One is accept it and do the way you were doing, or challenge it, negate it, ignore it, and go ahead. The choice is yours. Which one you will follow, the choice is yours. So dear, it's all courage. I mean, all the women sitting here, they should be very much, they should be bold and courageous enough to chase it. Because there will be hundreds of things are there, and I faced enormous number in my life. Every day it is happening, I'm telling you. From 24 hours in a day, 24 events will be happening like this. Everywhere you are going and hurting back, going and hurting. This is going to happen. And then you prepare yourself strong enough that you can do that and you should not go back. You should not dim your light, and lighten your light, not dim your light. That's a path, that's a way. And if you choose that, no, it's okay, that's your way. It's a choice is yours. Choice is individuals.
Thank you, ma'am.
So basically, okay, one more question please, and then we will move to the next speaker.
Excuse me, sorry, I wanted to ask a question I was holding for a long time. And so the thing is, yeah, I agree with all these speeches. I agree with all the things happening here. Like, yeah, we have to do this. Like, it's around centuries of oppression that a particular gender faced. Yeah, it is all true. But the concern here is the path which is leading to. We need this accelerating act gender equality, the cells for women and the societies for women, the special cells, the special funding for the women empowerment, all this is required. Yes, I agree, I completely agree with this. I'm sorry if my words may feel harsh to anyone or anyone for here. But the thing is, the way this is leading. See, we are promoting the thing that we should respect women, we should bring equality, and we should give empowerment to them, and everything is absolutely true. I'm again telling that I completely agree with this. I do not any objection with. But the thing is, as I want to speak with some statistics, the way all these laws that are being made for this own empowerment is being misused. I was seeing, as when we were speaking with the so-called statistics, I was seeing this.
Can you come to the question, please?
Yeah, I'm coming.
Just the question, yeah. Because we also have another speaker, so if you can
Just 2 minutes to complete this. I was seeing this.
You have 30 seconds.
Okay, ma'am. So how this Chairperson section 498A and all these things are being misused. The things that are made to empower the women were being to break the glass ceiling were being misused in the name of these things, ma'am. So I need to know this, how we should even empower, put the things that these are not just for the empowerment of women, just for the empowerment of women, not to the exploitation of the other side of the spectrum. So I'm just wanted to say that we should, in the name of even.
You are right. You are politically. Dear brother, you are politically impolitical, but it's a political issues and it's a corruptions. Basically, in single sentence, I can call it as a corruption. So corruption doesn't mean that it is exchange of money, but it is the deviations or the non-compliance of the rules and regulations also. Just to like to say is that you must be aware that SEBI has already declared the women representation in the board, all the boards. That has increased the representation of the women in the board. There are many more rules to the women, but remember one thing is that since in the society we didn't have or do not have those kind of environment, these are extended for the women's. And many of them are definitely, 2 days before, there was a news that 17 women who has been actually got selected in the election, our husbands are coming to take the vote rather than them. You must have 7 numbers. Husband has come to take the vote and they took the letter from the wife that husband can take the positions of the women's roles. So these are called corruptions, and we really, because you people will be the future for tomorrow, this need to be stopped. And once the parity comes into play completely, the rules also will go away gradually. That's the way things happen. But at this moment it is required, because these sections of women, unless we make them grown, the potential is not getting tapped. And for a country to grow, or a country to be developed, the percentage of women growth contribution has to be increased. It is a mandatory requirement. Go to South Korea, go to Japan, go to anywhere other developed countries, you will see the contribution to their contribution representation is to the tune of 48%. It may not be in the board, but their contribution to the job and everywhere is 50%. So for the growth of this country, this is essentially required. It contributes $770 billion per annum, which is a big amount. We purchase crude $160 billion per annum. It's 7 times more than that. It's a huge. So we need to have women contributions and to be increased from 24% to 50% if we really want to grow and grow in a leadership positions.
Thank you. Yes, thank you, ma'am.
I think with that we will move to the next speaker. It was, again, we thank Dr. Shukla Madam for her, yes, absolutely. Please give her a standing ovation for her excellent, not only for showing us the way, but she is a real breaker of the glass ceiling, of the proverbial glass ceiling. So,
thank you all. Thank you, my dear students. And when I grow further, I want to see you, all of you, in a leadership position when you say that our country is of full parity. There is no men and women. It's only one person.
So thank you for such inspiring words. It is through such encouragement and advocacy that we can pave the way for a more inclusive and equitable society. Now, I would kindly request, I'd kindly request Professor Banerjee to kindly come up to stage to felicitate Dr. Shukla Mistri, Madam.
Now it is time to hear from our very esteemed guest, Momita Datta Madam, about her experiences. Momita Datta Madam is a very distinguished scientist with the Indian Space Research Organization. She is currently the head Hyperspectral Optics Division, Indian Space Research Organization. She was involved in multiple prestigious projects such as the OceanSat, ResourceSat, Chandrayaan missions and the Mars Orbiter mission. She had also led the methane sensor project in the Mars mission as the project manager, overseeing the entire optical system, calibration, specification, calibration, and indigenous production in alignment with the Make in India initiative. We now look forward to hearing more from Madam, and we very kindly request Madam to grace the stage.
for the development and become the future of India. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Momita madam. And we also thank our moderators, Gayatri madam and Anuradha madam. We would now welcome on stage our respected Deputy Director, Madam Professor Rintu Banerjee, to please felicitate Momita madam.
I must mention about Dr. Narayanan, which is who is present chairman of ISRO, and he was an alumni of this IIT. So under his leadership, he has very recently he has taken up, but he really had an inspiring journey throughout his career, and we all appreciate the inspiring journey that he has made throughout his career, and we look forward for a bright future of ISRO under his able leadership.
Please wait a moment, all the organizing committee members. So let me, with this thought, we thank each one of you for being a part of this celebration. Let's continue to strive for a world where equality and empowerment prevail. Wishing you all a very happy International Women's Day. I now request all our esteemed guests, dignitaries, all the organizing committee members, and student volunteers to kindly join us on the dais for a photo session. This will be, yes, student volunteers and every one of you to kindly join us on the dais. And this will be followed by release of balloons outside the auditorium, and the session will close with a lunch for the invitees in the S.N. Bose Auditorium foyer.